The story you're about to hear is something that no one expected. It began with a boy named Daniel, an only child, quiet, shy, and always afraid to speak. His parents, Mark and Linda Cooper, loved him deeply. But they worried every day because Daniel was not like other children. He avoided people, he didn't smile much, he refused to join school activities, and whenever someone tried to talk to him, Daniel would hide behind his parents like the world was too big and he was too small. Doctors called it social withdrawal. Teachers said he needed confidence. But Mark and Linda, they only saw a child who was slowly losing himself. For years, they tried everything. Therapy sessions, special classes, playgroups, but nothing worked. Then, one morning, a phone call changed everything. Mark's sister, the adventurous one in the family, invited them to visit her in the Philippines for 2 weeks. She said the islands were peaceful, the people were friendly, and maybe, just maybe, Daniel needed a new environment. At first, Mark refused. Traveling so far with a quiet child felt impossible. But Linda, with tears in her eyes, whispered, "Maybe this is what he needs. A place full of heart, a place full of kindness." And so, with fear and hope mixing in their chests, the family packed their bags and boarded a flight that would change their lives forever. The airplane landed in Manila with a soft thud, but to Daniel it felt like the ground shook under his feet. He held his mother's hand tightly. His eyes darted around the airport, bright, noisy, busy. People were smiling everywhere. Drivers shouted, "Welcome, welcome." Airport staff greeted them, "Good morning, Po." And Daniel blinked. "Po?" he whispered. His mother smiled. "It means respect." They walked outside, expecting cool air. Instead, a warm breeze wrapped around them like a soft blanket. A Filipino driver approached them with the brightest smile Daniel had ever seen. "Hello, sir, ma'am. Welcome to the Philippines. I am Ben. I will take you to your hotel." Ben didn't just smile, he radiated warmth. And for the first time in a long time, Daniel looked straight at someone and didn't feel afraid. He didn't speak, but something inside him shifted. Their first stop was a seaside town in Batangas. Clear skies, blue water, friendly faces. Everything felt so different from the world Daniel knew. On the first morning, while Mark and Linda were unpacking, someone knocked on the door. It was the hotel staff carrying a basket. "Good morning, Po. Free merienda for the little boy." Inside was banana Q, sweet, sticky, caramelized bananas. Daniel stared at it like it was treasure. The staff asked softly, "Do you like sweets, anak?" Daniel didn't answer, but his hand moved forward. Slowly, carefully, he took the banana Q. It may have been a small moment, just a boy taking a snack. But to his parents, it was a miracle, because Daniel never reached for anything offered by strangers. Mark whispered to Linda, "Did you see that?" Linda nodded, eyes watering. "Yes, I did." Later that afternoon, they walked near the beach. Children were playing and laughing, running barefoot on the sand. Some were flying kites, others were building sandcastles. One of the kids saw Daniel and waved. "Hi, wanna play?" Daniel froze. His chest tightened. He looked down, waiting for the ground to swallow him. But the Filipino boy didn't walk away. He simply smiled wider and said, "It's okay. Hindi ka namin pipilitin, we won't force you." And then, he placed a small seashell on Daniel's hand. "This is for you." Daniel stared at it, white, smooth, glimmering under the sun. A gift from a stranger, with no conditions. For the second time that day, something inside Daniel cracked open. He whispered, barely audible, "Thank you." Mark almost dropped from shock. Linda covered her mouth with her hand. Daniel had spoken to another child for the first time in months. That evening, Mark's sister hosted dinner. The table was filled with dishes Daniel had never seen before. Adobo, sinigang, pancit, lumpia, and mangoes sliced like golden fans. The house was loud, laughter, stories, warm voices bouncing off the walls. But it wasn't scary, it felt like a hug. Filipinos didn't just serve food, they served love. At one point, Linda noticed Daniel's plate was empty. Before she could speak, her sister's Filipino husband smiled and said, "Daniel, you want more? Sige, I will get for you. Here, try this, just small. Don't worry." And he placed a tiny serving on Daniel's plate. Not too little, not too much. Just enough to show care. Daniel nodded, he nodded. Linda grabbed Mark's hand under the table. "That's two changes in one day," Mark whispered back, as if this place is waking him up. The next morning, something unexpected happened. The family wanted to explore the town, but instead of using a car, they decided to ride a tricycle. A colorful motorcycle with a sidecar attached. Daniel had never seen anything like it. The driver looked at Daniel and laughed kindly. "Your first time? Don't worry, anak. Enjoy the fresh air. As they rode through the streets, wind brushing through his hair, Daniel started giggling. Actually giggling. Linda turned to Mark in disbelief. He's laughing. Daniel couldn't stop smiling. The simple ride felt like an adventure. A tiny moment of freedom. A moment that told him the world wasn't as scary as he thought. And his parents? They were speechless. Everywhere they went, Filipino kindness followed them. At a small shop, the owner gave Daniel a free sticker. At a market, a vendor said, "He's so cute. Here, take this mango candy." On a boat ride, a fisherman let Daniel hold the paddle for a moment. And each time, Daniel didn't hide. He didn't cling to his parents. He didn't cry. Instead, he accepted every gift with shy gratitude. Mark whispered to Linda, "Why is everyone so kind?" And Linda answered softly, "Because this is who they are." The Philippines was doing something no doctor had been able to do. It was healing him. On the 7th day, the family visited a small elementary school. They were invited to watch a local program, students performing dances and songs. While they were seated, one of the teachers approached Daniel. "Do you want to join the kids in a simple dance?" "Just small steps, promise." Daniel immediately shook his head. Crowds terrified him. Performances made him panic. But then, a little Filipino girl walked over. She took his hand gently and said, "It's okay. I will stand with you." The parents waited, expecting Daniel to cry or run. But he didn't. He stood up, let the girl lead him, walked to the stage, and danced. Not perfectly, not confidently, but he moved, he smiled. He looked at the crowd, not with fear, but with bravery he didn't know he had. Mark could not stop his tears. Linda was shaking. Their child, the boy who never joined any activity, was standing under lights, dancing with other children. Everything inside them broke open. "He's changing," Linda whispered. "He's really changing." And Mark whispered back, "The Philippines did this." Near the end of their trip, the community invited the family to a small barangay fiesta. Colorful lights decorated the streets. Music filled the air. People danced, laughed, and shared food with everyone around them. Daniel stared at everything with wide eyes. "Do you like it?" Linda asked. Daniel nodded. "It's happy here, happy." He said the word happy. The parents almost burst into tears again. That night, Daniel tried Halo Halo for the first time. He rode a merry-go-round. He clapped during the street dance. He even talked to 2 Filipino boys his age. And when a group photo was taken, Daniel stood in front, smiling the brightest smile his parents had ever seen. On their last day, they returned to the beach where Daniel first met the Filipino children. The same boy who gave him the seashell ran toward him. "You're leaving today?" Daniel nodded. The boy placed another shell in his hand, this one shaped like a star. "So you won't forget us." Daniel hugged him, a full hug, from a boy who once hated physical contact. His parents were frozen, speechless again. As they walked away, Daniel whispered, "I don't want to go." On the airplane, something happened that shocked the parents again. A flight attendant asked Daniel, "How was your vacation?" And Daniel answered, without being asked twice, "It was the best. Everyone was kind. They made me brave." Mark and Linda looked at each other, overwhelmed. Their son wasn't the same child anymore. When they returned home, even Daniel's teachers were confused. He raised his hand in class. He talked to other kids. He volunteered to join a school project. He even presented in front of the class. One teacher pulled Linda aside. "What happened to him? He's different. He's confident. He's glowing." Linda smiled softly. "He visited the Philippines?" Mark and Linda realized something powerful. Daniel didn't need expensive treatments. He didn't need strict training. He didn't need pressure. He needed warmth. He needed community. He needed a place where strangers cared like family. He needed a country where kindness was the language. He needed the Philippines. Months later, Mark wrote in his journal, "The Philippines didn't just change our son. It reminded us of the kind of environment children deserve. Kindness, respect, and unconditional welcome." And Linda added, "If only the world loved the way Filipinos do, every child would feel safe, seen, and valued." Their child changed completely after visiting the Philippines, and the parents were left speechless. Because sometimes, healing comes from the most unexpected places. Sometimes a country filled with warmth can give a child the courage to be himself again. And for that, they will always be grateful.